Hi, it's your Sewing Sherpa Shauna here, and it's time for Stitch by Stitch, and you might be ready to go out and do a little bit of fabric shopping. So this bag that we're making for Stitch by Stitch requires one full yard of at least 45, dyslexic, 45-inch wide fabric. I recommend buying 2 yards because I think it turns out a lot better if you use a different fabric for the inside than the outside, and it also will give you options to do the longer handle instead of the short handle. So this was based on a brown paper bag because I want you guys to think about using fabric bags again now that the pandemic is over. So the fabric that I have requested would be a quilters cotton. Now quilters cotton, the reason I chose it is it's a very reliable fabric. That's why quilters use it. It's usually, a pretty stable sew, and your sewing machine handles it really well. It's not that it's the best fabric for a bag, it's just that it's an easy fabric to learn how to sew on. So quilters cotton is just a plain weave cotton that doesn't have any lycra in it or anything like that. In fact, don't buy any fabric that has any stretch, no knits, no nothing with lycra. How do you know if it's a knit? If it's on the bolt and it's not fraying, like there's no frays coming off, it's probably a knit. Like think about if you cut a t-shirt off, it'll roll, but if you cut denim off and wash it, it'll fray. Denim's a woven, and this bag would be great out of denim. If you choose a heavier fabric for the outside, make sure that you use the quilters cotton for the inside. You don't want to do too heavy fabrics because for your first project it might be a little bit difficult. But if you come in with 2 heavy fabrics, we'll make it work. So the pattern, see, is 1 full yard in length, so make sure they cut the full yard. When you fold it in half, if you have a one-way print, one side's going to be upside down, the other side's going to be right side up. And in that situation, right, you may be able to buy a half yard, a heavy half yard, because I have a smaller pattern that you can use to make the one-way print bag work, but you need an extra inch in length from a half yard. Anyhow, there's a fabric store right down the street, By and By. You could walk, actually it's about 4 blocks away, so you might want to drive. They has super wonderful quilters cottons, and then there is a fabric store, Fabrics That Go, 4 minutes and 10 seconds walking that direction. That is 15,000 square feet of fabric, and they have everything from linens to silks to upholstery fabric to cottons, but they're all interior deck, which is great for a bag. Not so great for clothes, but great for a bag. So if you show up to class with the wrong fabric, something that's stretched, or show it to me that I'm like, you might know, you have time at lunchtime to go and shop for those, because we don't start making the bag until after your 1-hour lunch break. So if you have any questions while you're shopping, or you feel overwhelmed or whatever, please just give me a holler. You don't need to buy a bobbin. I have bobbins here, and you should get all-purpose thread to match. So what matches here? Leave it up to you, whichever color you want to go with. I do have backup thread here just in case you buy the wrong type of thread, but I really highly recommend that you do the fabric shopping. Yeah, I've got some fabrics here that'll work. You won't like them. You're going to love this bag. If you choose fabric that you love, you're going to love the bag. You'll use it all the time. And you paid for the class, you spent the time, you've sewed the bag, might as well put a little bit of, effort into doing the shopping for the fabric. And yeah, and if you get too overwhelmed with your shopping, just give me a holler, and I'm usually pretty good with the phone and somewhat good with the email, but phone is a better option. Anyways, I look forward to meeting you, and I'll see you soon in Stitch by Stitch, how sewing begins.